the conversation where you're asking questions to qualify or disqualify in 3 minutes or less, to build that emotional quality, which helps us transition into the closing section where we can actually recap and solve and satisfy. And so a lot of us are kind of new at this, and we're kind of skipping some of this. And I want to talk about this from the master, the guy that you are the guy. So what can you tell us about creating that emotional quality in the qualification section that makes it easier to transition into the closing section? What do you got? What do you got, man?
I'm just having fun today. I'm in a good mood, man.
Am I too serious?
Don't you love Fridays? What is it about Fridays?
Beer with Claude. That's what it is.
Yes. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. here in Colorado. We're going to do beer with Claude. And I got a big old tall can of Bud Lime just for you.
That sounds great.
Can I record this, buddy? Can you give me permission to record?
Well, we're live streaming right now, so we're everywhere.
Oh, okay. I just like to record. There might be an outtake on here I might use for marketing.
Well, I don't think we can do both at the same time. I don't think Zoom will let us.
Oh, okay. I think there was a button you just okay, but cool.
If I do that, it might drop our live stream, though. That's what I'm saying.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
So the question was about how, I guess, to summarize, how important is emotion in selling? Yeah. Does anybody talk about emotion in selling? Most people, I've studied other sales trainers, Tommy Hopkins, the guy who wrote the Little Red Book of Selling.
Jeffrey Gitomer.
I love that book, by the way. I don't agree with all of it.
I got it.
And you read all these sales trainers, and there's a lot of them out there. And they're basically saying the same things. It's a numbers game. Knock on 100 doors, and if 100 people say no, walk into the sunshine and say, I like myself, and then go make another 100 calls and get another 100 rejections. Nobody was really ever talking about emotional selling. And one of those great rules of psychology is that people, and I know this, it's my own truth, and it's probably true for some of you. How many of us have made a decision emotionally, instantly, because it was just emotional is different from intellectual thinking. When we get that intellectual, do you ever talk to an accountant? Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or a physicist or something. They want to cross every T, dot every I, ask a million questions. They've got to do a computer analysis and everything on it. And then they'll get back to you in a month or a year after they've satisfied themselves intellectually.
Yeah.
Okay. That is not my Huckleberry. That is not my client, man. I want the guy or girl who is so emotional that and it's my responsibility. Can I make them emotional enough?
Yeah.
Have you ever made a decision and the next morning you say, can I use bad language on your show here?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. You ever wake up the next, ladies, excuse me, I'm sorry, but we're all adults here. Oh shit, why did I do that? Oh God.
Oh my God.
Have you ever, I'm the only one, right?
No. I mean, maybe a few times.
Use your imagination. You know I have a dirty mind, so we're just work with it. We've all made decisions, seriously, financial decisions. Say, oh, why didn't I check this? Why didn't I shop around? Why didn't I ask them this? Oh no, and that can be to our advantage. The $1 million rule is people make immediate, instant decisions if you can get them emotional enough about their particular situation. They will only justify that decision intellectually. Now, this is the complete opposite of the way all other sales trainers operate. They say, get in front of that prospect. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, can I have 3 minutes of your wonderful time? No, click. Or when they do occasionally say yes, because they're lonely and they haven't spoken to anybody during pandemic, that you give them the kitchen sink presentation with all the slides and everything else. And then you ask for the order 5 times or more. And then they ask you a million questions.
Right.
Then they say, inevitably, what do they say?
I'm going to think about it. We'll get back to you.
Oh, God bless you, Justin. You're wonderful. Oh, my dog likes you. My kids like, oh, you're great. Man, we'll get back to you in the near distant future, okay? I'm going to think about this. I'm going to light a candle in church. I'm going to talk to my pet rock. I'm going to talk to my wife, my girlfriend, and my grandma. And, you're great, man. Thanks a lot for all that information.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I hate that.
Why do you hate it?
Because that's when I lose. They go on the witness protection program.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you just wasted your time and you didn't make any money, right?
You know what my mantra is, right? Why are we in business, baby?
To make money today.
Today, man. You take that pretty girl out. You took your wife out for dinner. Okay, you bought her a bottle of wine. You had some steaks. You laughed. She laughed even at your bad jokes. You walked her to the front door and everything, and she closed her eyes and tilted her head. What did you say? Hey, can I have your email? I'll get back to you in a couple
Exactly. Email.
Okay. You got to go. Your sales is about courage. Sales is a science. It's an art. It's so much about courage. It's called guts for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we make people emotional? I mean, maybe that's where you wanted me to go. How do we get somebody so emotional? Did you ever get emotional during selling? I wear my heart on my sleeve. You know what the hardest thing for me to do is? Not get emotional when I'm selling somebody.
Yeah.
You know, tell me if this has ever happened to you. Did you ever get close to a sale? You can smell it. You know it's there, and you start, "Whoa, baby, we're having steak tonight, honey." You know, and I start getting too excited. What do you think happens to the prospect when the salesman gets emotional?
Yeah, they run away.
They're going, "Whoa, shit, he's making too much money." Whoa. Yeah. So we've got to be cool. On the outside, we're an actor. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to be confident, say, "Oh, if you think this will solve your problem, I'm very busy. It's okay to say no to me. I got 10 other people want this house. But you've been in that apartment for a while and you told me it's getting crowded. There's no privacy. You're not getting any tax benefits. The landlord, his property has doubled in value, but that didn't do you any good. And do you want to it's okay. You don't have to become part of the American dream. Someone's got to rent it. It might as well be you, right?
Yeah. Great.
We got to make it emotional by the stories we tell, by the demeanor we carry.
Yeah.
By using a lot of reverse psychology, redirection, we call it. And if you get them emotional enough, guess what happens? It's the magic moment, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're doing this in the qualification section, right? Where you're asking these questions that bring them to a place of emotion. Is this right?
I kind of do it through. That's a great question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that. That's why I like your interviews. You ask the offbeat questions. I kind of do it through the whole process. I'll do a pattern interrupt and everything. Well, stay in that house. It's a beautiful house. You don't really want to sell it, do you, Justin? Before I ask, I want to set an agenda and to ask you a bunch of questions and make you an offer and everything. But do you really want to sell this? You don't want to sell this house, do you? You're living in it. How many years you been in it, buddy?
8.
8. Stay another 8. It's a great house, nice neighbor. Don't you got that beautiful park down the road?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have that Dairy Queen 2 blocks away? I love Dairy Queen, man.
And this is setting them up to just pour on the why they want to sell this place, right?
Most sales, it's a good point. Most salespeople tell everything. We just got diarrhea of the mouth. We give that presentation. We love when they ask us a question and we know the answer to. That's traditional amateur old world selling. In guts, we want the prospect to be the salesperson. Can we turn the prospect into this emotional salesperson where they give the presentation, they qualify themselves, they give us the time frame and the motivation and the money and the decision-making process, and then they give us the order. Do you know how much fun that is when the prospect does all the work and we get to get all, and we give all the rejection? Do you know how much fun sales can be on the way to the bank?
I don't know why this is such a far stretch for us mentally, because when we refer to these prospects, we call them the seller, but we often get on the phone and don't expect them to sell us anything. we're trying to present something, show something, do some kind of a magic word trick on them to make them want to do business with us. But the strategies that you're talking about with guts actually cause them to kind of gush the reasons why they want to sell and why you need to buy this house from me today. And yes, that's exactly what I want to do. You know,
Guts is based. Thank you for the applause, Victor. Where's your handsome face? Turn on your camera.
Yeah. Everybody, get your cameras on. And I actually, what I'd like to do is open up for some group role play here too, if Claude's into it.
Questions, role play, whatever you want. I'm here for you guys. The thing about it is, most sales is based on getting yourself in front of enough people, acting subservient to the prospect, doing a lot of this. And the prospect just thinks, oh, this guy, I can get anything I want from this guy. I can pick his brain. I can dismiss him. He's just my personal little intern or gopher. Okay. But I want to change the atmosphere. I think one of the psychological triggers that even Cialdini doesn't talk about is the environment. Like we talked about this on our Monday group call. Are we responsible for creating an environment where they say, whoa, I got to buy this property from this guy. I'm going to lose it. It's scarcity, man. And everybody else wants it. Social proof conformity. And maybe this guy can help me a little, reciprocity, and I can help him. These are the psychology. Most sales trainers do not talk about the psychology of persuasion and positive manipulation. How do we get that prospect to want to buy from me today? Because they see this as a unique event.
Yeah.
We've got to understand how humans behave, what triggers us. And we've got to play the role to create that environment. Okay. It's part being a thespian and part being a Dr. Sigmund Freud, if you will. I love studying what motivates people, what gets them to say yes, what captures their attention. Even in my marketing, I do all those YouTube videos. A lot of my marketing, you guys know what I'm doing, but in my marketing, if you listen carefully, there's always a couple psychological triggers embedded in there. Most people won't see it. You guys do. I'm doing that because I got a lot of competition out there. How do I differentiate myself in the marketplace? What do you want people to say about you when you get off the phone, Justin? What do you want people to say about you?
I want them to say, I like that guy. I'm glad he called.
Wow, that guy. Whoo.
Yeah.
Whoo. I think I found a straight guy in an unstraight world. Maybe I should call him back right now and do business. Maybe I should have said, and we've got to see, most people think sales is just throwing a lot of stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks and then asking for the order 5 times, which is annoying. Yeah. And then kissing up and saying, oh, well, I'll send you that free information. I'll spend 2-3 hours doing that contract. And I'll touch base with you in a week or two. Okay. Is that all right, Mr. Chamness?
Yeah.
It's a dog at the table begging for a steak bone, man.
Somebody asked me yesterday, they said, there's a philosophy out there where you just send out offers, just gobs and gobs and gobs of written offers. And then they said, and we believe that you, Justin, you do this where even if somebody says no, you'll still send them a written offer. And I said, what about anything that I teach or that Claude teaches makes you think that I send out written offers to people just because they said they wanted to take a look at an offer, or they wanted to, or they think about it, or sure, send me an offer, I'll see what we can do, or
let's role play that. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Just same thing. Just go do it in a role play format.
Yeah. Well, Claude, I appreciate you calling, and everything we talked about sounds pretty good. I like it, but I'm going to need some time to think about it. So why don't you go ahead and send me the agreement over, and
Sorry.
What do you mean?
It's going to take me, so what you're asking me is an offer. Do you know how much time it takes to write up an offer?
No, not really.
A lot. It's a complicated type situation. You want to do a rent own on your property. I have to do some due diligence. I have to do some research. I have to put the numbers together, the length of contract. Let me ask you don't want to do a deal today, right? There's no rush here. You want to do this in like 6 months, a year, or you don't want to do this quickly, right?
Well, no. I mean, if we can get the right offer, I'll do it today.
When you say right offer, I'm not sure if I understand. Can you help me?
Well, I mean, you send over the offer, and we take a look at it. If it looks good,
I don't know what to put. What would you like to see in an offer? Tell me like the price, the terms, the length of the lease.
Okay.
You mind? I'm so glad we're on Zoom right now. Do you mind if I take some notes here and tell me what you want to see in a deal? I'll write it up, and so when we speak at 4:30, we can decide if we move forward or you can fire me. Is that fair?
Wow, guys. Wow, that was an incredible move, Claude. By the way, on the timeout there, sorry. We were talking about I've been asking 199,000, and like we said, I think it's worth about 206. And we got a payment of about 1,395 PITI.
Oh, great. Why are you even selling? Is this an investment? Excuse me for interrupting. Is this an investment property or your own home?
Well, this is my own home. This is where we live. Yeah.
Wasn't a hard question, was it?
No.
Oh, okay. Seems like you had trouble with it. It used to be an investment property and now you live in it, or?
No, we've been thinking about renting it out instead because
why don't you do that? Why don't you just put up a sign, rent it out? And, and hopefully you won't get somebody who trashes the place or you got to do evictions and things like that. That's a great idea.
Well, we don't really want to do that because,
I understand. You must have brought it up for a reason, though.
Well, we'd rather sell the house, but if we can't sell it, then we'll just rent it out.
You know what? My favorite realtor is Edward Porter. I can put you in touch with him and maybe he can help you sell it or something like that.
Okay. I guess if you want to text me his number, I mean,
I'll put you guys together. See, I only work with people who want to sell their home today. You don't want cash or term. You don't want to sell it today, do you? I mean, get this off your back. You're done with it. You're obviously selling for a reason. Are you moving or something? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, we're moving. We got to get out of here by the end of the month. Really, I got to get myself moved over in the family to New Mexico, where I took a job.
I love New Mexico. Oh, you got to go to the restaurants and get those sopapillas, those little powder, those little puffs, put honey and butter on them and everything. It's going to make you guys hungry and everything. Good. Okay, so what would happen? God forbid you didn't sell this, you didn't rent it, it sat empty. That happened to a friend of mine once. Some street people moved in. They took out all the copper plumbing and the appliances and everything like that, broke the windows. Neighbors couldn't care less. Like $50,000 worth of damage. He had a $10,000 deductible on it. I shouldn't have told you this story. I'm sorry.
Well, that's
horrible story.
That's why we want to sell it, really. Renting is kind of like a last option for us, I guess.
I don't blame you. So what you'd like to sell it today? What would you like to? So, boom, off the role play. Mm-hmm. You see the opposite, the redirection I'm using. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get more information from you. Obviously, your level of motivation, or create more motivation. Mm-hmm. Trying to get the hard numbers from you.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to get a commitment from you too. Do I want to just write up offers all day long and then they disappear on me and I'm following up?
No.
That's not fun. Why? When this business becomes fun, when you're having good conversations and you're making money on a Friday afternoon.
Absolutely.
I'll give you an example of yesterday. Joe McCall does a little live podcast. And I just I got an email and I clicked on and he said, "Oh, Claude's here. Come on." I came on and I went on there and I said, "Hey," and Joe said, "Contact Claude." I said, "Can I give a gift to your audience?" Something like that. And he said, "Sure." And I said, "Here's my free book, guys. Just send me an email." 26 people right after I got off, 26 people contacted me. Fresh, warm leads. What do you think I did with those 26 new people that I've never spoken to or had a contact with before?
I don't know, Claude. You're gonna have to tell me. What did you do with all 26?
I followed up. Those people who were warm prospects, they knew of me. They contacted me with an email. Every one of those, I sent a free book and a personalized video. It takes me 30 seconds to make a little photo booth video. I attach it, I put in a free book, and out of those 26, 2 bought packages from me, and another 2 have already scheduled. I haven't checked my calendar today. I bet you I got another 1 or 2 scheduled with me. What happened? See, the marketing, bringing in warm leads, attracting people.
That's smart, man.
Oh, it's so easy to do. Yeah. So when you say to me, do we make offers to everybody? If they're worthy of our time is the answer.
Sure.
If they're worthy of our time, especially warm prospects. Don't we love warm prospects?
Mm-hmm.
See, to me, I am I'll tell you a secret. I'm too damn lazy to do cold calls all day.
Oh, me too. Definitely.
You give me 2, 3, 5 maybes, warm, attractive leads that came to me that are in my database from follow-ups, or people like yesterday, 25 people. Okay, those are the ones I'll focus on. And if I can talk to 2 or 3 of them, statistically, what do you think the opportunity is to close them?
Right. Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. They know who you are.
Yeah. I mean,
okay. To me, that's the kind of marketing I like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry we have nothing to talk about today.
No, it's great, Claude. It's great.
Yeah.
I was just thinking Arturo down here might want to role play with you.
Arturo, I don't see him on my
It's Ace.
Oh, Ace. I'm sorry. Ace DLG. What does that stand for?
Gonna have to hit that mute button.
It's an acronym for my last name, De La Garza.
Okay. Do I call you Ace or Arturo?
It doesn't matter. Whatever makes you comfortable, Claude.
What would you like to role play?
Calling, you being the buyer and me being the seller. Let me try to push you all the rebuttals and all the objections that I get when I talk to my sellers.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to be the prospect.
You are going to be you're going to be the investor. I'm basically calling you out of either you reached out to me via lead, as far as a call, a text, or anything. I'm just packing my stuff.
Okay, so this is a warm lead. We have some kind of connective tissue here.
Yeah, I'm calling you for the first time. Either you texted me or I saw something from you and I'm calling you back.
Okay, ring, ring. Hello, Diamond Consulting Group. This is Claude. How may I help you today?
Hey, Claude. Again, I'm just calling you back. I actually saw one of your marketing pieces. It says here that you buy houses. Is that true?
Every now and then. You don't have anything for sale, do you?
I might have.
You need to get closer to.
I don't know. How do you guys work?
You need to get Arturo, you need to get closer to your microphone. We're getting an echo and stuff.
I have one of the houses that I'm flipping, so it's vacant. So can you hear me now?
A little bit better, yeah.
So yeah, like I was telling you, I'm basically wanting to sell a house again, but I'm calling you again. Can you just introduce as far as how you guys work?
Oh, okay. There's too much background noise. Okay. Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes. Let me get into my truck.
Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back to you, Arturo.
Yeah, that's too much noise there.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. Let's go ahead and somebody else want to jump in his place and role play.
Yeah. Give me your biggest obstacle or stall or objection. Stall and objections, by the way, Justin, did you know there are opportunities to close people?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about this.
Somebody give me a role play with a stall or an objection.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. Can you send me over your documentation? I need to have my attorney take a look at it. It's going to take me a couple of days to do that.
I got a problem. When you say documentation, what do you mean? Help me, Victor.
You said you were going to send me over a contract agreement, something.
Oh, okay. And if I send you that agreement, Would you like me to explain it to you? We could go over it right now. We're on Zoom. I could share the screen with you. We could go over step by step on it. And if that meets with your personal satisfaction, what happens next?
Well, I still need to, I need to run it by my attorney. My attorney needs to, I don't do anything without them getting, taking a look at some stuff.
I commend that. We don't know each other that well. And if I was in a position doing business with someone I don't know, you don't know if I'm an honest guy or a Bernie Madoff, right?
I don't.
You don't, and I am an honest guy, but you don't know that yet. If you did, it wouldn't be an issue. Let me ask you something. If I take the time and trouble to write this up today, and your attorney approves it by 4:30 this afternoon, what happens?
Well, it's not going to happen by 4:30. I won't be. I'm on the road right now. I won't see. This is an off the road play. This is an actual situation that I have to. Maneuver through. So
what am I doing? What am I creating here off the role play? What's the psychological thing I'm utilizing right now?
Scarcity.
You got it. You guys are smart, man.
All right.
Scarcity.
We're learning. We're growing, dude.
What's the fear I have to put in you?
The fear of loss.
That was brilliant. Say that again.
Mm-hmm. Fear of loss.
The fear of loss. What happens if I start doing a little scarcity, a little social proof, and then ask for a little reciprocity? So can you do something for me, a favor for me? So, I might say, here's Victor, you're a great guy. I enjoy talking with you, but can I speak straightforward to you, or you want me to sugarcoat everything?
Oh, no, please be straight with me.
A lot of people tell me they want to look it over. They want to go to their attorney. They want to talk with their wife. They're going to light a candle in church on Sunday and everything. I mean, are you comfortable doing this deal? We knocked out the numbers. We've talked about how we're going to structure this deal. All things being equal, are you comfortable at this point, or would you rather fire me right now?
No, this seems like it's. I mean, you seem like a upstanding guy. It looks like you want to. I'm interested in the deal. I just
interested means.
Interested means, I like what you're saying, and I just need to have my attorney look it over and make sure that that it meets all of the legal requirements. I never do a deal without letting him. When you
say legal requirements, I'm not sure if I understand.
Well, I live in Alaska, and I don't, and I'm doing a deal in California, so I'm not I'm not super familiar with the legalities of a California transaction.
Okay, it's basically I give you money, you sign a contract, you get $1,000 a month for the next 3 years, and we have the right to purchase your property for. It's a cardboard box behind the Walmart, so it must be at least $350,000.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it's I feel more comfortable knowing that my attorney signed off on this.
You know what? I agree with that. If you're subject to your attorney approving it, what would happen if your attorney? Let's pretend for a moment. Off the role play. Always go to an imaginary sequence. This is Guts 2.0. Let's pretend or imagine for a moment. You give it to your attorney. He says it's the best contract he ever said. He's not going to make many changes or adjustments. You're happy with the prices. What happens when we speak on Monday morning at 10 o'clock?
We go to open escrow.
I'm sorry, what?
We go to open escrow.
Okay, so based on the numbers and your attorney's approval, and that the only thing I'm going to ask in return, because I trust you, is that we will speak at 10 o'clock sharp, and I will get either a yes or a no at that time. Is that fair?
Fair.
What?
Fair.
Good. Thank you, sir. Boom. You got to see.
Wow.
When he brings up stuff, you've got to make him. You got to make him interpret. What does he really mean? What was the one word you used about your? You said an interesting word, and I said, what does that mean, or something like that? I want to get more words from you. I want to get more interpretation from you. Yeah. So if you say to me, Claude, this deal looks interesting. What do you mean by interesting? Help me out. What's that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to find other words and reinterpret or justify your statements now. I got to find out, is this guy just playing me and wasting my time? Because, how many times have we all gotten into our car, driven through traffic, gone to the property, they were late, they finally showed up, they gave us the tour of the new toilet seats, we made an offer, they said they'll think about it, we drove back home through traffic, we thought, oh, honey, I've got one. Then on Monday morning, you can't find this person.
Yeah.
Whose fault? Whose fault is that? This is a toughie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Our fault.
Why? Big why.
Because we didn't close and we didn't lock it in. We didn't conjure up enough emotion. We didn't let them see the benefit that was going to be theirs by saying yes.
Yeah, we are entitled. We have rights in the sales process. We think we have this in our mind that we're subservient to the prospect. We just give them all, answer all their questions, give them everything they want. And this is the mentality, may rest in peace, from Zig Ziglar and a lot of other sales guys. Just give that prospect everything.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're going to be love you so much. They're going to do the, and you know what I found out? When you give and keep giving without asking something back at the right time, guess what? They just take. You know, once again,
that sounds like a relationship.
Yeah. Have you had relationships like that?
They didn't last long.
We have rights. The most important thing,
just a few.
Share, we have rights in the sales process. We call ourselves professionals. How should a professional act? Your doctor doesn't say, you know, act like a salesman guy and just give. A doctor is busy, has a little bit of a professional attitude. Maybe some people say a godlike attitude, okay, because they got a room full of patients. Same with your dentist, same with your lawyer. You've got to respect people's time, but you've got to play that role. If you're just giving without setting up through a system the idea that, hey, Mr. Prospect, I'll be glad to ask your questions. Can I ask you a few? And at the end of this conversation, I don't want you to tell me you're going to think about it or talk to your wife. I just want you to fire me. Could you do that for me, sir? As a personal favor? Justin, would you please fire me?
Oh, that sounds like fun. Yeah.
Okay, good. As I'm here to do business, you've got a problem. Maybe I can help you solve it. If we can do business, that's great. If not, let's say it's over. Okay. I don't want to go back and forth and bother you and you think about it and everything. We don't have time for that, right? We're grown men.
Yeah, that's fair.
I try, I try.
Yeah.
Why you even sit? Then you go back into your agenda or your pattern interrupts. And you find out, gee, why are you even selling this home? Why don't you give it to a realtor why don't you put a sign out there and why don't you just rent it yourself? And you get them to justify their decision. Right. Well, I don't want to pay the realtor. I tried already to sell it. It fell out of escrow. You get them to justify their level of motivation. They'll give you stuff you never thought about before. See, it's got to be you're the psychiatrist and a Broadway actor, a stage actor, and they're on your couch. And, hey, my mother doesn't understand me. Oh, really? How long have you felt this way? That's what a psychiatrist does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never give up your position of authority. Even when you present, when you speak, it's always clear that you're in the position of authority in this conversation.
But that's true. But that's why we blend in the stroking and.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like a doctor would. You know that he's in the authority. You know he's the knowledge. He's got the information that could heal you. But at the same time, there's that bedside manner that makes him, that makes him a really good doctor. That he can mix that in and make you feel a particular way.
Yeah, right. Stroking, sincere compliments, nurturing, making them emotional. Oh, I know how you feel. I had the same thing happen to me. Oh, boom. So even though you're an authority figure, you can still nurture them along and get them into that emotional trance. That sometimes one of the things I love to talk about is conversational hypnosis, getting people so that they're in this almost light trance. They're totally focused on you. Their mind. Do you ever sit back and daydream? You guys, anybody here daydream in school? I did all day long. Oh, yeah. I was so bored.
Yeah, always.
And when you daydream, do you ever notice that you lose track of time? Do you ever drive your car and get that? What do they call that? Where you're just seeing the white lines keep going, and they call it white line trance or something.
White line fever.
Yeah, and everything. And then you shake and say, "Whoa, shit! Was I sleeping?"
Yeah.
And it is like a movie playing in your head. Can we do that? Can we do that to the prospect? Can we be Steven Spielberg and produce a movie and put it in their head?
Oh man, yeah, we can.
Yeah, if we put that movie in their head and they can visualize, imagine. You know my favorite word, imagine.
Yeah, and you said earlier, you said let's pretend.
Let's pretend. That's another one.
Yes.
Imagine for a moment. Suppose, just think about this for a second. You're out of that little apartment. And you're doing a barbecue with the wife outside, and the kids are on the fresh cut grass. Can you smell that fresh cut grass? Isn't that a great? Oh, and now you're back to the barbecue, and the sausages they're with the onions and pepper, and they're grilling. Can you hear the crackle and everything on the fire? And that smell. Oh, and you just opened up a nice cold bottle of Bud Light Lime. And it's a hot summer day, and you throw it down. Can you see yourself in that new house with that happening?
So you're engaging all the senses now, just basically putting them in that spot.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't care about the kids part. My kids are grown up, but I want that sausage sandwich and cold Bud right now.
Okay. Nice bratwurst.
Brats, baby, on a good roll with you like that stone ground mustard, that really coarse mustard on it. Little sauerkraut. Any sauerkraut fans here?
Oh yeah,
I'm a sauerkraut fan.
And you got the little, when you bite into it, you get the snap of the skin. Honey, you know what we're having for dinner tonight?
Yeah, that pop when the juice pops into your mouth.
Oh, but it's so, or up on your lip, and it's so hot.
Oh my God!
And then the grease goes down your arm, and it just ruins your brand new Under Armour shirt and everything. But you don't care.
Right? You talk about sensory engagement right now.
Just having food is easy. Why do you think the Food Channel and all the food show, Iron Chef, and all that? Why do you think food shows are so popular?
It's food porn.
Food porn.
Right. Yeah.
Sensory engagement.
Yeah. And so can we do that in sales? This is conversational hypnosis. Can we go to somebody and say, look, I know you're in that nice apartment. I know imagine you made an investment on that property. It's $100,000 now, but let's go in the time machine in 15 years from now, and it's worth $350,000. And you've paid off the mortgage, and you have $350,000 in equity. You got nice tenants in there; they're paying on time and everything. Does that smell like freedom and security? And how does that smell to you? What does that feel like?
Smells good. Smells like freedom. Smells like somebody else paid off my mortgage for me.
That could be you, but it's okay to say no to me. But you've got an opportunity, sir. These go really fast, and it's okay to say no. I got 10 other people interested in this property at this price and these terms right now. Yeah. Are you comfortable with this? Is this okay for your budget right now? It's a great price. It's a great rental. I'll tell you what, I'll even waive my consulting fee, and I could show you how to set this up as a rent to own if you and I decide today to do business. How do you feel about all this?
I'm good with it. It sounds amazing. Yeah.
Which means?
Which means it's, I'm good with it.
I'm not sure if I'm good with it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
There's like only one word, right, that you're looking for.
One word, which means and or something. What happens when the big mouth salesman all of a sudden gets quiet? Who's the pressure on now?
On the prospect.
Oh yeah. You see, I don't like the words you're using, so you've got to dig down deep. You know what you mean, but I'm not hearing the magic word. What's the magic word?
Yes. Yes.
I once had
I know what you want to hear. The prospect knows what you want to hear too, but you know how we are. We're reluctant to just give in like that, right? Like, especially some of us who, like, if we're operating from a position where we own a bunch of these properties, we've done this before. We got egos the size of New York. we just don't want to succumb to it. So, we have to find a way to get through that.
How many times do we hear the words, we think it's yes, but they didn't say
Oh yeah,
yes.
right.
And we go back to our car. Oh, I crushed it. Oh man, we're
Uh-huh.
going to the bank. But
Yeah.
you don't have shit.
Exactly, man. You're so right. You
warm
nailed it
feeling.
right there. Yeah, and we conned ourselves
That's all
into
you
thinking.
have is a warm feeling.
When he said, "I'll give it my highest consideration, and we'll let you know tomorrow." We're like, "Oh yeah, man, I got this one in the bag."
Yeah, you got nothing.
What's the most, let's take another thing. How about you get the contract, you get the yes, you start getting emotional. And what's the amateur sales guy? Oh, he signed it. I got the check. I got the credit card. He signed it and everything. And you're all emotional. What's the amateur sales guy like to do?
Yeah.
That is the most dangerous time in a sale. Why? Even when you get the yes and you get the contract, what happens if you run away too soon?
Because now there's nowhere for them to go but down.
How do you fix it?
That's a great question.
Has anyone here ever had their heart broken? You did the deal, you got the contract, you went home, honey, open up the good Miller High Life, and you're jumping up and down. You think, I like Miller High Life. I like cheap beer.
Isn't that the champagne of beers?
Yeah, bottled beer. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it's the champagne of beers.
Miller High Life is tough. You know what's unique about Miller High Life? I'm going to defend my cheap beer. Miller High Life has do you know beer goes bad? Beer has expiration dates on it, but most companies don't put it on there. Yeah. Miller High Life always has the date on the bottom. It's union made beer.
God bless them.
Okay.
It was the first beer I ever drank in my life was a Miller High Life.
Yeah.
I think we digress. The thing about it,
we have a little bit.
Do you ever get the thing where they call you up the next day and they say, well, Claude, you're a great guy and everything, but I talked it over and, we're going to hold off and all this, but you're a great guy. And my wife, my dog likes you. Well, I'll get back to you in the near distant future. We'll do this. Don't worry. We just got to hold off right now. And you already did you spend that money in your head already?
What a gut. It's a gut punch. Yeah.
That money's gone.
How do you fix that before it happens? This is $1 million tip we're doing right now.
Gosh. Yeah.
How do you fix that?
I just can't wait for you to tell us, man.
Anybody? Greg, go for it. Go ahead, Greg.
Get back in touch.
Well, what can you do? I'll give you a little hint. You're there right now. They just signed the contract. You're on the honeymoon. Everybody's happy and everything. Before you leave, what do you absolutely have to do so you don't get that remorse 24 hours later, that buyer's remorse?
You're not gonna call me tomorrow and back out of this, are you?
There got to be a little stroking, and you're close. Little nurturing. Right. Stroke and nurture first. Always stroke first. Oh, it's so good to do business with you, Mr. Chamness. This is great. You're a real gentleman. I like the way you do business and everything. You don't, fiddle fart around. Now, let me ask you something before I go. Are you comfortable with this deal? I mean, I don't want you to, when I leave here and the door's closed, this is done. I don't want you to have any regrets. You strike me as a man of your word. Are you okay with all this?
I am.
Because if you want, we can rip this up right now. I got your check here. You want me to?
Okay.
Want me to rip it up?
Ooh, no, I don't.
I can. I mean,
I just filled all that out.
You just filled it all out. You came to me with your problems, A, B, C, D, and E. I think we can solve them. I think this is going to be to your benefit, but I don't do reneges and everything. I want to make sure you and I are on the same page. You strike me as a man of your word. Why do I feel that way about you?
Claude, we have a deal, and we're totally okay with it. I don't think you need to worry.
Think?
Yeah, you don't need to worry.
What?
You don't need to worry. We're in the deal.
I knew that. You're old school like me. I shake your hand. We don't even need a contract. I shake your hand. You're a real man.
Thank you, sir.
Boom. Is he ever going to call? Seriously, if you do that one move, we were a little over the top there, but do you think he's going to call me up tomorrow morning and say, "Oh no, Claude, what did I do?"
It's a good point. Good
So
point.
reinforce the close after you get the check.
You've got listen.
Or the contract, right? Let's say you get the homeowner under contract. It's a good idea to do this then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Always see you've got to take total responsibility for the sales environment. You take the check, you take the contract, even on the phone, and you run with it without fixing the possibility of a renege later. You're in trouble. You've got it. You've left the door open to lose that deal, and you've got no one to blame except
me.
Yeah. See, Matt, my mentor used to say, "There's no bad prospects. There's only shitty salesmen."
Boy, I've been that before. Yeah.
Prospects want to buy, don't you? They want to buy. They're just waiting for the right environment, the right situation.
Yeah.
You've got to create that. You're the producer. You do the sound, the makeup, the script. No scripts, but you got to use the right words at the right time. You're doing a major production. See, sales to me is not just reading a script and asking for the order. It's got to be. It's so much more than that. And the rewards are unbelievable. You know, sales has given my family an amazing life. I have no regrets. I am so great. I am so grateful for learning sales skills and being in real estate, because, you know, it's nice to go to bed and know the cable bill is paid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember a time where I was sitting on the couch and I know I hadn't paid my internet bill, and I was hoping I could make it through this Netflix movie before they cut it off. That's a horrible place to be.
Man, that's really broke.
That's broke and hopeless. But
I've been broke, but I've never been Netflix broke.
You can turn all this around, though, using your words like a tool like this, which I've done. And thank you, sir, for your contribution to all that.
Well, I was the former world's worst sales guy, man. I hated sales. I understand why. You know, we call sales a profession, and we call it. And if you've ever read Fortune or anything, this is, sales is the highest paid profession in the world. What they don't tell you, they always leave out a few statistics. It's the highest turnover also. Why is it? Why is sales? What does a guy do who lost his job? He gets another sales job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why is sales such a high turnover? Why is sales so tough for so many people?
Because the places that they work don't really give them any true sales training. They hand them a 500-word script and they say, okay, here's how you just go walk and talk and say this right here and bring us your orders at the end of the day. And that's about the extent.
Yeah. It's so much.
Rejection.
Yeah. The rejection is devastating. Who said rejection? That was brilliant. Who was that?
Greg.
Greg. You know, we're human beings, man. We have egos. I mean, that's what made us crawl out of the muck, out of the cave, and go hunt a saber-toothed tiger. We've got a little bit of a thing called an ego, a super ego. And if we don't feel good about ourselves, if we're getting dumped on all day long, I love the expression, don't pee on my back and tell me it's raining. Okay. If you don't feel good about yourself, how do you make these phone calls that all these gurus talk about?
Right.
How do you deal with that rejection all day long?
Right.
I remember in high school, I asked a pretty girl to dance, and she laughed at me. She said, "No way," and went back to her girlfriends, and they were all giggling while I'm standing there, shrinking. And, I didn't ask another girl to dance for a whole year. Okay. That kind of rejection and depression, I understand that.
Yeah.
And you're telling people, okay, you're just going to call up these strangers and they're just going to, oh yeah, thank God. I've been waiting for a strange sales guy to call me at dinner time and my meatloaf is getting cold. Here's my credit card. If it was only that easy, right?
Exactly.
It's not easy.
It's not, but
it's worth learning.
Yeah. And you've laid out a wonderful system, wonderful process. And we're all here students of that, man. In fact, I want to just say real quick, ClaudeDiamond.com. If you haven't been there, go there.
Got a free book.
Got a free book. If you got a place to type it in there and a coupon code or anything, you better put "I love Justin" in there.
That's right. I have on my webpage, I have a free book, and when you get it, you just write in "I love Justin," and I'll send you a free book. The mentor teaches the gut sales method, or if you request, I'll send you my new book, The Rules of the Gut Sales Method. And that's called marketing, by the way.
And I'll tell you what, the book he's talking about, The Rules of the Gut Sales Method, is the hands down best sales book you will ever read. It is really good. In fact, I would like to have a hard copy of it myself, Claude.
Oh, and I also you want some of these too.
Yeah, some of these 3-minute timers. Yeah. Because we can't be spending 30 minutes, 40 minutes on the phone with these homeowners and not knowing if they're motivated or not. We got to do this in a timely fashion. There are no bad prospects, only shitty salesmen.
Yeah. These are some of the rules we talked about. Oh, here. Never get into a pissing match with a skunk.
There you go.
I have made a decision, Mr. Prospect. Can we actually tell a prospect that we have made the decision to sell them? Do you think that's arrogance or authority?
Oh, that's definitely authority.
Yeah, it's authority.
Yeah.
Hey, Victor, I've decided we're going to do business today. I've just made this decision. Tell me how we can work this out. I want to buy your home or something like that.
All right, well, make me an offer.
Yeah, boom. The Godfather close. Make them an offer they can't refuse. Hey, if you've got nothing, you ever have a sales situation where it's not going well, you've got nothing, you're not going to do a deal with them. Can it hurt to make a crazy offer just to see if you can get their attention again?
Not at all.
That's the Godfather close.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put a dead horse in their bed or something,
Horsey head.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so go to ClaudeDiamond.com. I love Justin. Get the book. It's a great book, guys. Great book. It will change your mentality on calling. Another rule in there is that the salesman comes first. You come first in the call. When you're picking up the phone doing this, guess who's the most important person in this exchange? You.
Now, this is very controversial. We could spend another hour on just that one rule, because all the sales seminars and books are about the prospect going first. And, the thing about it is, my feeling is we're in business to make money today. I know most people are just trying to make an honest buck selling a good product or service or real estate. They do business honestly, ethically, morally. Aren't we entitled to be compensated for our hard work? If you don't believe that, you can't be in sales.
Yeah.
You've got to believe in it. And maybe that comes from arrogance or self-absorbed or whatever, but I think we deserve to be paid.
There's a big philosophy going around out there that is the counter to this idea, and it puts the homeowner or the prospect first and their needs and doing what's in their best interest, even if it's not necessarily a sale for you today or whatever. And man, I don't know how you can do that and stay in business if you're not making money.
My thing, I don't listen. As long as I have a commitment up front, some kind of, even a tentative commitment, okay, I don't mind giving and helping and nurturing that prospect. I'll give them everything they want, but I want to know up front. I think I have rights in the adult to adult discussion. And can I say, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, if there was a solution that met with your time frame, with your needs, with your budget, what would you do next? And if they give me that wishy-washy, well, we don't know, we're in no rush or anything, I'm not going to waste 45 minutes answering their rapid fire questions, because I want to know that they have the need, they have the money to pay for the need, and they have the character to give me, or the authority to give me, a commitment today.
Yeah.
I think everything else, how much time have we I've wasted enormous amounts of time in my life doing free consulting, getting in my car, driving around without any consideration or qualification. Yeah. When I say we have rights in the process, I think before we spend our natural resources, our time, our knowledge, our energy, before we waste those resources, we're entitled to get at least the knowledge that we can do business with this person.
Yeah.
Is that unreasonable?
No, not at all. I got a hat that says free hat limit 1. And I want to get a hat that says free advice limit 1.
I want to distribute tissues that I give to prospects, and on the box I want it to say boo fucking who.
That's great.
Ladies, forgive me. I forgot there are ladies on here. I apologize. I don't usually use that language. I'm sorry.
Quick question, Claude. On a deal, let's say you're 30% apart. They want 100. You need to be at 70. It's only 30% difference. So again, the deal makes sense between there. Again, the seller is fixated at the 100. You're fixated at the 70 to make it work. When you end the call, to begin the call, how would you process that? I guess, what would you say? You know what, ma'am? I know you want 100. I got to be at 70. What would you do?
Listen,
I just want to hear you.
Listen, if I was in your position, Arturo, and I could get 100,000 on this property, I listen. I agree with you. Who wants to drop their price $30,000? If I'd feel the exact same way. But didn't you tell me that you're moving soon, that you've been trying to sell this for 6 months, that it fell out of escrow twice? Didn't you tell me? Imagine for a moment. I know it's not the price you want, but imagine for a moment it's done. You got that breath of fresh air. You're getting a nice check on July 31st, and this is over. Do you want to check? Did you ever have, I had a friend once, Arturo, and he had and he wanted a certain price, and he had it locked in his head. And you know what happened? He chased the market down. The market took a shift. Do you think that? And he chased the market down, and he lost 100,000 instead of making the price he wanted. Can you see that happening in this environment right now, with the economy, with the pandemic and everything going on, and a new election? I mean, can you see that possibly happening? How would that make you feel?
I was stuck on my side. Yeah, but again, 70K again. That's big. 30K.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But it's over. It's done. And you're a sharp business guy. You're going to buy another property. You're going to make that 30,000. You know what? You'll make it up somewhere else, probably on your next house. But now you could imagine. We get off this phone, and you might say to yourself, it could have been over. It could have been done. And I could get that nice big check now. I don't want you to
hear that's awesome.
See, it's the psychology. It's acting and psychology. You've got to create. I didn't argue with you. I said, if I was in your shoes, I'd do the same thing. I don't want to lose 30,000. I know exactly how you feel. But, and then you go down your list of needs and greeds.
Yeah.
And that's how you make it work. Oh, Justin, man, this was the world's fastest hour.
Yeah. Hey, I hate to wrap it up because we've got 15 here in the Zoom room. We got another 15 watching on YouTube, plus on Facebook, plus on Periscope, plus on Picardo, plus on Twitch, plus we're everywhere.
Don't you love live streaming? Isn't it fantastic?
It's great. I love it. If you look at my analytics, it says 89% or 86% of my audience watches from the United States. I'm trying to figure out where is that other 14% watching globally. What an amazing world we live in. Country boy from Kentucky can get a laptop and go global.
There you go.